I am going to be reading this story directly from the creator of it. So therefore, all all copyright and recognition goes to the creator of this story. She said, "This is my story." Let us start with it. I had an encounter with one of Pet Edochie's son in my younger years. Let us look at the face of the woman telling this story. This is the face of the woman telling this story. "I am friends with him," she said, on here. Now, in 2007, Isaac Uzo and myself came together to pull an ingenious stunt that rocked the print media. We were colleagues at Int magazine until the day we met an AfriBank top shot who had money and was seeking national influence. He was introduced to us at Federal Palace Hotel via Lagos by a colleague who hailed from his state. As we made to below our halos across him from our table, he leaned over and cut the chase. "I intend to go into politics in the future and I need to get popular for it," he said. Exchanging quick glances and communicating without words, the three of us immediately chorused that owning a magazine would be the shortest route to his desire. We recognized opportunity when we saw it. Yes, the man's eyes twinkled like pearly stars as though our words were the only truth ever spoken. And his mouth creased into an ear-to-ear smile as he invited us to a meeting in his office. When the D-Day dawned, the three of us hopped into my Nissan Maxima, arrived at AfriBank headquarters on the island. We suddenly became nervous. What if we failed to convince him? But the warm smile on our host's face calmed our nerves when he ushered us into his office. As a man had quantum wealth, the moment he fixed an unblinking gaze at us, one after another, and asked, "Deal?" And we affirmed, "Deal." Money began to talk. There weren't many beginners earning 50k naira a month in Lagos at that time. But I signed a contract to be paid triple that, 150,000 naira, with several other allowances too. Wow. In short, wowza. While this money talked, perks perched, and our hearts fluttered with delight, I got a RAV4 as an official car, and the lads got Corollas. Within a couple of weeks, our office was ready or more. Our sunlit manic Sunday, we started work, and Sensation magazine was born. For those who know, back then, we had Int magazine, and then we had Sensation magazine. These are magazines that are more like what we have now, blogs, where stories are told about people. Our chairman had gained the influence he craved. He was constantly getting invited to chair award ceremonies and other high-profile events, but he was a businessman, a very impatient man at that. Sales were good, fantastic, but we needed to augment the figures with ad revenue in order to stand firmly. Every day, we dispatched our newly recruited ad team to the field, but as we were new and yet to gain advertisers' confidence, each of them returned looking frustrated. Panic took over. What if we still could not perform before the deadline our chairman had imposed? Pushed by the fear of going defunct before we had even settled, we did a daring cover story on Iniedo and captioned it, "XX puts Iniedo in trouble." That became our very first sold-out edition. It reached every nook and cranny of Nigeria, and it attracted advertisers. Yes, advertisers began to visit our office requesting to place ads in our wave-making new magazine. One of those visitors was Pet Edochie's son. Now, I'm sure you want to know who Pet Edochie is. Yes, the son of Pet Edochie. Who is Pet Edochie's son? Pet Edochie's son had a business in the SX industry. He operated via a website, quite cutting edge for the sanctimonious Nigeria of those years. Harsh sunshine. Pete Edochie's son had a business in the XX industry. He operated via a website, quite cutting edge for the sanctimonious Nigeria. Harsh sunshine was giving way to refreshing breeze the day he visited us at Sensation magazine for the first time. As soon as I was informed of his arrival, I grabbed my mouse to rouse my laptop and browse his site. My aim was to harm myself with tips that would tide me through my inevitable talk with him. The site was a sight to behold, a galaxy of beauty. There were several products on display, each promising heaven in the bedroom. Aphrodisiacs. My eye was still dilating with surprise when the vibrators came into view. Yes, vibrators and dildos. My eyes roved as the attached labels drove shock through my heart. Was this really a Nigerian site? Wow. It felt more like pouring through, one of those Playboy habits without this sex crazed characters. Having gained a bit of insight into his business, I ambled off to ramble about ads with the master of toys. Edochie's son was standing in the reception, hands in pocket, admiring a painting on the wall. When I breezed in, we shook hands and said hi in high-pitched tones. The moment introductions and pleasantries were over, I took him to my office where we talked ad rates and terms and conditions. An hour later, he left with smiles, knowing his business would travel miles via our magazine. As soon as he shut the door behind him, I grabbed my phone and, beaming with pride, called our chairman to inform him that ad revenue was revving up. He gave a spontaneous squeal like a squirrel to relay his joy. Edochie's son began to visit us weekly, but would head straight to his editing suite, where his ad was designed by SH0CK. It's getting serious, ladies and gentlemen. One quiet afternoon, however, he popped in to see me. I thought I should say hello. When I answered the door, I smiled, and he beamed as though my smile was the magic that illuminated his soul. Offering him a seat, I initiated a chat which lasted longer than I intended. Curious to know if his chosen business piqued anyone close to him, I asked if he was married. The answer was yes, and nodding as if to reassure himself, he added, happily married. I was impressed and told him so. Asked how the wife felt about his business. He rubbed his nose and stated, matter-of-factly, that it was what put food on the table. Minutes later, my phone rang. It was his cue to leave, and he took it. Socializing with Edochie's son again was far from my thoughts. I wasn't awash with free time, but just 2 days later, it turned up like a tornado, unexpected. My courtesy smile wasn't so courteous. I brought you a gift, he said, brandishing a package. Why? I asked. To show appreciation. Not wanting to be rude, I accepted the package, muttered a quick thank you, and strutted off to my car. I was going to interview Uche Jumbo, no time for chin wags. I had completely forgotten about Edochie's son's gift by the time he showed up at my door again the following week. My smile was fake. Do you like the gift? He asked. With an apologetic tone, I told him I was yet to open the package. He nudged me to open it. I reluctantly reached for the package on my shelf and opened it. Now, this is what she said. I'm going to, kind of do a little bit of analysis on this. Embarrassment drenched my body and soul as I beheld a huge thing with balls and veins, the biggest ever made, peach in color. I was still bereft of words when Edochie's son's voice pricked my ears. I would like to show you how to use it, he said excitedly. What? What do you mean? How do you mean? I semi-stuttered. We can go to a hotel or your place, and I will help you use it on yourself, and then if you want, we can. In other words, you are asking to have with me? I interrupted. You came to a woman's office to ask to have with her? I like you, he said. I have liked you from the moment I met you. Ine, why now? Didn't you say you're a married man? I sneered. The disgust I felt was palpable. I'm married, but it doesn't matter. You can still be my special friend. I laughed hard. A mirthless laugh. When I reclined on my chair and threw my head, back. Are you aware I passed out of youth service just 2 years ago? He looked confused. I continued, and I'm already where I am. I work hard and smart to get where I am. Did I do all that just to become a special friend to a married man? We will have a lot of fun, he promised. Realizing that the fella was stone deaf and incorrigible, I got up and walked to the door. I want you to leave, please, I said, throwing the door open. Sorry, maybe you misunderstood what I started to say. I want you to leave my office. Uche, Edochie, I turned that. He left, and I never saw him again. I hope everyone now understands why I made that post. Avoid pet Edochie's sons. They generally don't treat women well. A lot of the people who saw it on whatever platform misconstrued my reason. This is the lady. This is the lady who wrote this piece, and some are saying, Oga, Madam, how come you decided to put this out at this point, at this time, that Yul Edochie is just kind of maybe somehow getting over the slap and brain set for the past 3 years. Yul Edochie's brother, Link, joined the slap, and the slap has not stopped, courtesy Yinka USA. Now you decided to stoke fire by bringing Uche into it. Are you trying to destroy Uche's family? Like maybe he's having issues with the wife now and they have temperament issues right now, and then you brought up this story kind of like, yes, let us scatter this family, the Edochies must be destroyed. This story is so long ago. Why bring it up now? Are you saying that if the AfriBank money bag had asked you to open Pekus, you would not have? And what is the guarantee that you did not open Pekus to a certain extent, somehow, here and there, or what exactly? We don't know. Now, I'm not accusing her, but the thing is that she herself said it, that people misconstrued it. Like, what are you putting out here? To what end? None of these things can be verified. He can actually sue you, that you should show proof and evidence of all that you have said, that he never ever did this. You live abroad, obviously, and this is what you do, obviously. Who knows? Maybe he might decide to keep quiet about this or drag you to the court. Like, I never ever said any of the words that you claim I said. Never sent you a message. Nothing that you can prove. So therefore, for trying to defame me, I am dragging you to the court. How I met Pet Edochie's son. Avoid them. They are like a plague. That is putting a blanket on all the family, starting from Leo, the eldest, down to Yul Edochie. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? A lot of people are applauding and saying, wow, yes, because of, once beaten, twice shy. It has now become twice beaten, multiple shy.